So Adam, I have a great update for you. Very interesting. You remember the lady who freaked out on the plane and she was like, I am not staying on this plane and you can stay or you can go, but we're not going to make it to Orlando. Her name is Tiffany Gomas, and she was eventually tracked down by TMZ, among others. And she just gave an interview. She was caught on camera for a bit, I think by TMZ or the Daily Mail, and gave like a little comment one time. But this is her first interview about what happened. She went out. It's a Barstool Sports podcast called Pardon My Take. And here is how she is now explaining her meltdown on that plane.
You know, the reason why I probably haven't come out yet, because it's like so cringe, I did not see anything.
What?
I mean, I think y'all knew that.
Okay.
We honestly had no idea.
Yeah.
You said you did.
No, I did not. The
Those
media.
motherfuckers.
You said this motherfucker's not real.
I said that motherfucker.
Is not real.
These. Or
Okay.
Like.
Apologies. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got in a bit of an altercation. It spiraled out of control. It was not my best moment. I mean, it was actually a horrible moment. It's absolutely mortifying.
So what you're saying is that clip that we all saw, that motherfucker's not real, is not like you thinking that someone is an alien. It was just the tail end of an argument.
It was an expression of speech.
Okay.
Was it like an arm wrest? Like you guys are fighting over the arm
what was the
rest?
fight over?
So gave up. I was in the middle seat, and it was just, there was just a really bad energy, and I don't want to get into like all the details of that.
Okay. Once again, in my opinion, everything she just said was a lie. It was all lies. That's my opinion because, and it was just an expression of speech. It was just an expression. It was just like a turn of phrase. Here is what happened on board that plane.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to. Bye.
Then there was part 2 in the airport, once they had to turn the plane back around and bring it back to the terminal thanks to her freakout, where she wouldn't leave the terminal. She was trying to film the plane, and here's what happened there.
Do not let that flight leave. Do not let that flight leave. Being dead serious. Do not let that flight leave. That flight's not going to make it to Orlando.
That flight's not going to make it to Orlando. And the whole video, if you watch the full 5-minute meltdown, which some lovely passenger filmed, began with her saying, I need to get the F off this plane. I need to get the F off this plane. I don't give an F about my shit. Just need to get the F off this plane. I'm getting the F off. And then she says, because there is a stupid effing dude over here. No. And then comes, everyone can believe it or not believe it. I don't give two Fs. That MFer back there is not real. Now, no one actually cares about this woman or this controversy whatsoever. It's just in good fun. But she's out there, and God bless those guys at Pardon My Take who managed to really kind of keep it going. This woman is like trying to spin herself into now like a self-help guru who is going to help us all, I guess, with our, what to me is an obvious lizard people take, of shapeshifter take. That is 100% what I believe Tiffany was seeing or purporting to see on the plane. It's not real, but she's one of the people, this is why it's interesting, who I believe gets sucked in to the lunacy that's all over the internet about this narrative, shape-shifting lizard people. She's lost her grip with reality. I'm sorry, she's having a mental health issue, obviously, hearts and prayers. However, what she said to those guys is not true. It doesn't match up with the facts. What do you make of it?
I agree with that. Also, it's kind of curious. Her name is Tiffany Gomas. So she has the whitest name and the most Mexican name. And she made like a Reese's peanut butter cup out of it. And there's not another human being on the planet named Tiffany and Gomez. There's a lot of Dolores Gomez's and there's a lot of Tiffany Wilsons, but there's no Tiffany Gomez's out there. So she's got range culturally. She seemed possessed. And I think there's a lot of people. Here's my theory. There's a lot of people who don't fly without ingesting a few things, some edibles, some micro dosing, although her microdosing could have turned into a mega dosing. So I feel like she was rolling on something when she was in that airplane. There's just a lot of people that ingest things before they get on that flight. And that, to me, I think may be the culprit.
I don't believe that. Because I think that would have been an easy thing to say. I'm such a dumbass. I took something because I'm a nervous flyer and it had a bad effect on me. Everybody would have been like, oh, poor thing. We would have been skeptical, but it at least would have made sense. She lives in $1 million home. She's got a nice job from what I hear. And I think I watched this documentary. I talked about this over the summer, once again, with the Ruthless guys. And I was talking about this documentary called The Devil You Know, which I think was Amazon Prime, season 2. Amazing, amazing documentary about how people get sucked into. There are a lot of people, Adam, who believe that there are lizard people among us, that there are, quote, shape shifters among us. And it's very rare that you see them out themselves publicly, but I believe that's what happened on that airplane. Here's a clip from that documentary, which was about, in part, this radio broadcaster, Sherry Shriner, who pushed the nonsense to thousands of people who bought it. But watch this.
The reptilians have been dominating Earth for the last hundreds of years, thousands. These aliens, they pose as humans so they can destroy the humans on Earth.
It's freaky to me to think this woman's in a top-tier marketing job, I believe it is, has success in life. She could be sitting next to her on the airplane and she's looking around for the lizard people. This is the dark side of the internet. This is the dark side of no longer believing in the CDC, the WHO, the FBI, the DOJ, the court system, the cops, the presidency, the State Department, all of which are valid. I understand the skepticism about all those groups and share in it. But you start to go down this rabbit hole, and for too many, there's no bottom to it. The next thing you know, you're on a plane seeing lizard people. That's my belief about what really went down.
No, I agree. I think the most insidious, damaging chapter from that we just passed through is opening the window to skepticism for everything. And I used to make fun of conspiracy theorists all the time. I really can't anymore after what we just passed through and what we saw the FBI and the CDC and the WHO and all these different authorities and entities, what they've done to us, and then also mixed in with the crazed revisionist history of Gavin Newsom explaining California was great. He didn't really lock everyone in their homes. It leaves the window open to keep going down a conspiracy theory path. Now, I'm not going to keep going down that path. I'm not a flat earther or the Jews took down the Twin Towers or any of that. But it does open the window. And this is the problem. The problem is, when there's some shooting in Nashville and they will not release the manifesto, then it makes everyone go, well, what was really going on with that? Or when they won't give you the information or the data, the statistics, or they lie to you, you start going, what the heck's going on there? And people that are less pragmatic than you and I go much further down that path.
Mm-hmm. I just think it, and I realize there have been, sort of little screw loose people from the dawn of time. I've talked about before on the show how there's this very weird internet conspiracy theory around that I am Nicole Brown Simpson, somehow reincarnated, but I don't know how that works because I existed at the same time that Nicole Brown Simpson was alive. So I'm not sure how they square those two things, but if you Google it, you'll see a bunch of things pop up. So it's not like this is new or just post-COVID and the deterioration in the trust of our industries, but it's gotten worse for sure. And I think those COVID lockdowns that Gavin Newsom was responsible for in part added to it. I think a lot of people are having mental health breaks. There's not enough services to help them. And I actually, for one, wish that Tiffany Gomas would come out and just tell the truth. Freelance work is booming. So many people are taking the leap and starting their own business. But how do you maximize your earnings, minimize your taxes, and make sure you are legally compliant? It can be overwhelming, confusing, and it takes time away from your own billable hours. That's where the experts at Collective.com come in. Now, Collective was built specifically for businesses of one that are making over $60,000 in profit a year. Collective handles all of your back office work so you can focus on your passion and not your paperwork. And they can tell you how they can backdate your S-Corp and save you thousands on taxes this year. They handle business formation and compliance paperwork, taxes, bookkeeping, accounting, and even payroll. Check out collective.com/Megyn to potentially save thousands of dollars on your taxes. To sweeten the deal, they will also throw in an extra $100 off when you use my link. That's collective.com/Megyn to get started with your personal team of self-employed tax experts. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.